Hi, Twitch.
Hello, Twitch
Yo,
police.
Okay, so go to the gameplay screen. Clang. Here we are in the city of Tyr. Party of adventurers. They've been set the task to investigate and clear the name of the Veiled Alliance. So you're gonna have to point the finger at somebody, but you're in charge of the investigation. So you have several days to finish. If you go beyond that point, they're gonna start to get concerned, and there might be consequences. Sort of a pivotal deal, but you've got other things going on in the city as well.
We had talked about throwing Param under the bus. Is that still what we want to do?
Well, I mean, we do have an Urukite in our midst. Maybe we should
Hey.
consult with them.
That's him.
That is
Oh.
me.
Explain to me.
Sorry, it's been a very long day.
Oh, I'm willing to go and contest that statement.
I don't see you working out in 100-degree sun.
No,
Or
I was
did
just
you?
kidding. Yeah, I certainly was. Called breaking down a tent in Anarchy campsite in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Oh, anyway, our own qualms aside,
So
I don't believe I was around for when you guys were discussing this matter the last time because I needed to go to bed. So I assume you brought my character back into the loop.
Yeah, I
So
think it was
far-
still kind of a somewhat open question at the time. That's what I remember we had discussed, and I don't recall if we had reached a consensus on that
Probably
issue, or if we're gonna try to find some other avenue.
Okay,
But
so
we
what
had,
exactly is the Veiled Alliance? So the Veiled Alliance is being accused of the ones who took down Halleck.
not. Okay,
yeah, so
there's
Senator Drix
yeah,
hates wizards,
this guy.
absolutely despises them. He wants to blame the death of King Kalik on the Veiled Alliance. The Veiled Alliance are our buddies
Right.
through Soul,
Right.
I believe, and therefore we don't want them taking the blame. So we either have to throw our own buddies under the bus or find a new target that is an arcane caster that we can feed to the wolves, so to speak, to satisfy them.
Hmm.
And my suggestion had been, well, we've got Pram of Uruk in custody, and he's an arcane caster, and he's from Uruk, and he's a spy and a known spy. It would solve lots of problems altogether. And Uruk's already attacking us. So it's not like it makes a political issue where there would be one normally. So that was my argument. And I think that's
Right.
kind of where we had left it last time.
Yeah, I think we should take it. I mean, we're not gonna like run out the time limit here, but I think we should take a couple of days, to investigate. That way, us just pointing the finger at Purim isn't just going to be seen as like a knee-jerk reaction or just, an a coincidental accusation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be a shame if he were to somehow die in custody and not be able to refute said allegations.
Well,
What a shame that would be.
when you captured him, he was seen casting magic spells in the plaza, in the marketplace.
Uh-huh. Lots of witnesses. We could gather up some of the witnesses. But we've also got to go and blackmail Senator Goldine.
I think
we
I
have
also
to-
have an idea to help. I could possibly get Purim to give a personal confession. I have at my disposal the use of the suggestion spell.
I don't think it's going to be quite. I need. I don't think suggestion can give quite that specific, can it? Like that much?
Well, suggestion is I basically plant the seed into his mind, and his mind does the rest, to like formulate the story and everything.
Inception. someone explain to me what happened those last 2 sessions since I wasn't
just
there?
got back.
Well, there was no session
Yes.
last week, so you didn't miss anything there. But the week before that, there was some stuff about an investigation that we're talking about here.
And,
And
we
most of
captured
the party
spy.
killing off innocent people at a farm.
They weren't innocent if they were at the farm. Okay?
So they
Name
continued
one
to
farm
help Verasi of Minthor sabotage his rivals. They captured the Urukite spy Param of Uruk. Senator Turax demanded the wizards that participated in the revolution be brought to task and punished for being wizards. He wants the Veiled Alliance uncovered and all of the members hanged because he hates wizards. Senator Vildine still wants his 10 swords, otherwise he's not going to field that many troops. But you might be able to blackmail him. I have some stuff, the blackmail situation. Apparently, Senator Vildine runs a bunch of shops, and his shops are dealing in shoddy, counterfeit merchandise at a highly elevated
Inflated
price,
price.
at an inflated price as well, and evidence of that could definitely expose him to the other merchant houses that he works with.
I'm sure Councilor Turlough would love to hear such information as well.
I think I might have an idea of how to deal with that side of things, but that can wait until later. For now, the pressing matters are 10 swords for whoever wanted them, and dealing with Senator Turek.
Also, there was a weapon card for that dagger we had found that we wanted to give to Caster, but I can't seem to find the item card for that.
But you can't. Oh, so you can't find me? Okay.
No,
Item card.
we had found a psionic
sure.
dagger last time, Caster, and given that you are both the only full psionicist in our midst, and you like to use daggers, it seemed a pretty good match.
Nice. Hey, give me a card, I'll try that onto my sheet.
I don't see it on the table. Where did
Yeah, I
it go?
don't know where it went.
Go to the notes. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm being all the way out daggers.
Seems feasible.
That's so weird that it's gone.
Did you have it identified?
Yeah, we did identify it. It was something like a +1 dagger. It was heavy, so it did like an extra 2 damage. And then it was able to store 1 psionic ability per day.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I guess I can do like 3
And it was made of psionic crystal as well. So I want to say it was like 1d4, so it had +1 to hit, +3 to damage because of the heavy property.
Here's the card. I just made it. From a backup I
Yeah,
had in my notes.
That's it right there.
Alright. Give me some time, I'll copy it.
Yeah. So that can save any one of your psionic abilities that you want once a day. So
Alright. So that'll make it 1d4 plus 6 then.
So it's like a dagger that lets you throw an extra dagger when you throw your psionic dagger.
Nice.
Or it lets you have a free heal if you go psionic healing.
and it somehow is finesse light and heavy, which is kind of weird, but whatever.
Well, it's made of chitin.
Heavy just means
chitin isn't
small.
light.
Small characters can't use it, so a halfling wouldn't be able to wield it effectively.
Yeah.
Oh man, a weapon short people can't use.
Personally, I don't need a weapon. I am the weapon.
I don't need a weapon, but only because if I don't use a weapon, I'll get burned at the stake like a witch.
No, psionic abilities are respected. Arcane magic that people hate.
All right, so a new
And
day
pretty much
dawns.
anything.
The weather today is
really-
terrible. Another
Real quick,
haboob.
If we run out of food in the desert, which one of us are we eating? Let's get this sorted out before this situation occurs. Like,
You're not eating my dog. That's all I got to tell you right now.
Here's here. So the only
Here we go. Dust storm ambience and the stormy haboob on the horizon.
a boob.
You also have 2 druids and a ranger. I think starving to death in the desert is not particularly likely.
Is Goodberry allowed?
It is, but it's not allowed as a food source. It's only allowed
This
for
is-
healing.
Yeah. Same thing, like create water doesn't actually work.
Yeah. So water.
There's no
Food is-
cheating the food and water rules basically.
I would say food is not a problem. Water would be a problem going out in the desert.
It can be in the desert. It can be. Unlike regular D&D, you can't just hunt and forage for free food all the time.
But I do have a very good survival score, so hopefully the dice gods are with us.
Most people crossing the desert will take a caravan with a huge amount of supplies.
Eventually just trust that Daggermaw
have
can
an
find
idea.
something edible on any given day.
I have an idea of how we might be able to get the swords.
But we don't need the swords. We have the blackmail. Why would we bribe
Oh,
the
right,
guy
right,
when we
right,
went
right,
through
right.
all that trouble to blackmail him?
So what do you do?
So,
Benji, can I get a stream link?
Streamlink, sure.
I think we should spend this day interrogating / trying to get Purim to be readied for a confession of killing Kalik.
or at least helping to.
What, from the man we captured?
Yes, the spy.
Why would he admit to anything? It's not like he's gonna deny everything to the end.
Suggestion. Basically,
I don't know.
I'll tell him, you want to say these things. You need to say these things.
Yeah, from Psionic, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I mean, won't there be psionic interrogators that can be able to tell that his brain was manipulated?
We probably should get a Psionic to help us. To be able to read what's going on in his mind.
Let's see. Course of activity limited to a sentence or two. Magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand. Yeah, so basically I can tell him, you want to say that you concocted the rebellion against Kalik.
Paramavurik was handed over to the Templars in the Templar Quarter. So if you want to talk to him, you'd have to go there.
But did you get the off again? Did you get the dagger?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
sweet. Yeah. I thought that would be sweet.
Did we level up at all those 2 sessions?
We leveled up to level
Level
4.
four.
That's it.
Oh, so
Would you be capable of reading what's going on in his mind? And not just tell him what to say?
No, I do not have that psionic ability.
Oh, we might want to see if there's one in the city that we can borrow. If we ask the Templars, they should be able to point us the right direction. That'd be a a very useful kind of tool, because who knows what he was doing in the
Actually-
city. He might have been planning. He might have some other people in the city working.
I have a
with
better
him.
idea. Do you remember the psionicists that we had met in the slave pens?
Yeah, one of those. The ones
Yeah.
that tried to read my mind. Yeah.
My character knows where they are. They know which district that they are currently residing in.
Oh, we could get one. Maybe even like I don't know. Get the permission to bring one with
Okay.
us.
If I remember correctly, it was the Elven Market district. That's where I had last seen them.
Yeah, but they were working for the Templars. I wonder if they still do.
No, they weren't working for the Templars. They were slaves.
Oh no, I was talking about the ones that were coming into the slave pit when we were getting interrogated after that explosion.
Hmm. Well, yes, that probably would be. Oh wait. Oh no, they're in the Warrens. My bad. They're in the Warrens right here. Well, yes, that might be a good idea. I would more trust these people that we actually met rather than some random psionicist who could just decide to bullshit us.
Maybe we can pay them. But we can try. The thing is that with the monks, I don't know if they're going to want to participate through all this, and finding them might not be so easy. But there is Orosto. He's always kind of available. Maybe he knows where the other ones are hiding.
Down in the Warrens? Yep. So you guys
Oh, we
are
can
all
have
standing around inside the tavern, the Red Cank Inn, where you rest during the night. You can see the sandstorm blowing outside. A lot of people are coming in to get away from the sand, dusting themselves off, coming in for a drink.
Looks lovely.
Rough weather today. Some people comment as they pour sand out of their boot.
And then they pour boot out of their sand.
I take my entire coat off, and you can see like an entire pile of sand come out.
Pretty much.
Traxxas will begin wrapping up. To go out
Yeah,
into the hobo.
We also have the problem with these gladiators. They're kind of unhinged.
Still being what?
Every single day, it's like a battle to convince them to stay in town until.
Quick Windsor. That's what he's talking about, is Quick Windsor.
Yep.
Like with the weather going on right now, I doubt that they're gonna want to go out into in the desert. But whenever the storm comes down, you know, it's still gonna be the same story over and over. Maybe we should just teach them a lesson.
Are there any rolls that you would like me to make for going out into the sandstorm there, Ninja?
Within the city, it's not really a survival risk.
Okay, so just cover up to minimize the amount of sand in my eyes.
So, depending on how you're dressed, you might be inconvenienced or uncomfortable. But if you've got any clothing that provides any, like, desert protection, then you'll be alright. Usually
I got
people will
traveling
just
clothes.
use, like, a handkerchief or a rag that they wrap around their face just to help them breathe without getting a bunch of sand in their mouth.
Is Morg with us tonight?
Long is not here. He hasn't responded, so I don't know. He's going to be at the Gladiator Arena practicing with Gregor of Tyr in the meantime until he shows up and says otherwise.
Okay.
Oh, right, I have the card right here that you are all looking for.
Yeah, right on. Well, if there's an extra, we can delete one of them.
I'll delete mine. It's got the Braces of Defense on it as well, which are mine.
Yeah, well, keep those.
I already put them down on a different note. I have a hemp traveler's outfit, so I'm assuming traveler's outfit would be, you know, outfitted for stuff like sandstorms.
It includes a hood. It helps.
Yeah, so I'm going to travel to the Warrens to go and see if we can find our old friends.
Is there somebody that might need like one of those for the time being? The traveler's outfit.
using it.
No, but there's you, but the other ones that are with us.
Oh,
No?
All right, so Traxxas is saying the Warrens is the place to go, which requires winding your way through this long, twisting series of alleys that runs off in that direction.
Why are the Warrens in like back alleys?
The Warrens are like the poor part of town, and it's like a favela in South America. There's just a ton of small, cheap buildings all piled on top of each other, extending all the way out across this entire field here.
Metal rooftops all over the place.
Ninja, I got an ad for Bud Light on your screen.
Nice. That's what happens when you make affiliate. All right. Traxxas, Grimoren follows you. Does anybody
am I?
else leave?
Sorry. Do you need some help for your mission?
we're just gonna go talk to some of the old friends that we made in the slave pens. See if they might be able to help us out with Purim.
You want somebody to follow with you?
Yeah, anybody's welcome to come.
All right, I'll go with you. See what they have to say.
Okay, so nobody else?
See ya.
I don't know. Like,
Hang on. I have to turn your volume back up. Turn it down. I turned it way down because you sounded like a race car for a while.
Me?
Caster Blaster.
There is a continuous humming coming from his microphone.
Maybe he's got a fan running next to his mic.
yep.
Todd.
Do you have a push to talk?
No, I do not. This is how I talk.
Okay, so is the party splitting up then? The rest of you staying here at the inn?
In
Yeah.
wait, where's my Enix? Is you in the board?
Where's your what?
Enix.
The big lizard.
Long dog. Skip.
I don't know. Did we have a figurine for it?
I don't think so. I don't think we.
Well, our figurines are as large as buildings if you put it like size-wise.
You should have something, you know?
Let's take a look at my bag of dinosaurs.
Do you actually have a bag of dinosaurs?
Right, you got a.
Pet lizard. Skip.
Let's see. Maybe take one of these and make him a flat boy.
I thought you were talking about as a tall.
And maybe not as long.
It's an Enix.
There we go.
Right.
We'll rename that one Enix. Maybe shrink him down a bit.
Fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, basically. All right, so Soul bought himself a riding lizard. He's saddled it up.
That must have cost a fortune.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Wasn't it only like it was a war Enix, right? So how much was
I believe he still has the. Yep, he still has them over here. If you want to check.
Well, according to my item shop, if you want to get an Enix, is it listed here? Here it is, 100 CP for the Enix.
only 100?
It's not too bad.
And then you got some accessories for it as well, like a saddle and stuff, some saddlebags, all the basics.
Regular Enix or is it like a war Enix? Whatever.
I think he went for the War Enix, and he got the War Saddle for it.
War Enix so it doesn't run away with it.
Yeah, those are a little stronger. Huh? like more expensive too.
So the problem with War Anix is they're trained not to fight, because the way that lizards fight would cause you to fly out of the saddle and smash your head on the rocks. They basically just thrash about violently, and you could not possibly stay in the saddle if it did that. So they are in fact trained not to attack while you're riding it.
So I can't have it attack while I'm not on it.
Oh yeah, you could get off of it and like command it to attack something, I guess. That's fine.
Yeah, it'd be quite the rodeo to fight with the animal.
Says I can't ride it with my 50 points in ride.
It weighs
3.5.
It weighs a couple thousand pounds though, so think of it as a car. It's not something you're going to be taking indoors with you.
So when it bites something and does a death roll, it's not a great idea.
Can I
Just get a
investigate-
Pokeball for your Enix.
Can I investigate the city?
You want to investigate the city. What part?
The Noble District.
Okay, you're going to go towards the Noble District. Further splitting the party,
Stationary.
anybody going with him? Was anybody interested in going to the
I guess
Noble
I will.
District?
Sure, see what the hell's going on over there.
Norcus
Are you
tags
sure they're
along.
even going to let you in at the gate?
Maybe we should try to figure out who that Tarax is, that Senator Tarax is.
Wait, Taras? Why would you?
No, Turex.
Oh, I thought you said
T-U-R-A-S.
Taras. I was going to say, this woman? That's one way to make the group smaller.
Okay, so we've got a couple routes plotted out. So early in the morning, with the horrible sandstorm blinding everybody and forcing most people indoors, a bunch of you venture out into the difficult weather, and so traveling into the back alleys, into this series of alleys, the Warrens. I'm gonna make a couple rolls.
Oh my god, am I gonna get mugged? I'm supposed to mug people.
Not me, not with me around.
All right.
You're safe.
Some people are on the street, but they go running indoors, seeking shelter. There's a guardsman who pulls his cloak close around himself and grumbles angrily, but nothing happens. All right, so you continue on to the next leg down this way. Meanwhile, the second group here travels towards the ziggurat. So as you're passing the ziggurat, you can see the old slave area where you used to be a slave. And while passing here, I'll make a couple rolls.
Wait, which group is doing that? Mine?
Your group. Your group travels past the ziggurat, where you used to be slaves. No encounters, so the yard seems empty because of the foul weather. So you're able to cut across through the sort of buildings that surround the Colosseum, and that's going to bring you to the wall where the Noble District is, and the guards are going to ask what your business is, what you're here about.
Official government business investigation.
Yes.
Investigation for who?
What's the king's name?
Tithian.
Khaled, right? Oh, Tithian? King Tithian. We're investigating Khaled's assassination.
All right.
Do
So
we have, like, a card or something that
they'll.
shows we're on the top, or do we just gonna tell them?
All right, they're gonna let you through. Sounds like you're on official business, so they let you through into the Noble District.
Oh,
Nice.
is that easy?
Yeah, it's that easy.
That's a lot of typing.
Why is this not working? Alright then.
Okay, so you're traveling through the Noble District. Meanwhile, the other party here is traveling north into the Warrens. Arriving in the Warrens, you were seeking Arosto the Old. Arosto the Old happens to be here. However, he's helping out this slave who's got himself a problem of some sort. What do you say?
Traxxas will patiently await for Arosto to finish up with the slave. and then afterwards say, Orosto, dear friend, could we perhaps have a moment of your time?
Hmm. Yeah, alright. So he sends the other man on his way, and then he approaches and says, "Hello, how could I help?"
Well, we have a need for someone of your particular expertise with psionics. Some of our friends are in trouble, and we need to... They're innocent, of course, but we need somebody to take a look into the mind of a spy that we captured. We're not going to harm him. We just want some more information to take the heat off of our good friends that helped us get out of the slave pits.
And we're a little concerned as well that if there's one spy, there could be more than one. Potentially a coup in the city.
Like, Casper, can you remind?
Good question. Let me check.
We'd like to know if he might have some accomplices in the city.
They were also using defiler magic.
Alright, Orosto the Old agrees to help you out. He says, "Lead the way. What sort of services do you need?"
No,
Well-
I don't have.
Would you perhaps be able to delve into the mind of someone to glean information?
Yeah, I could read the surface thoughts of a person if I had to.
Can you go deeper?
Yeah, usually.
Alright, then. And Traxxas will start making their way towards the Paladins' quarter.
Okay, so having acquired Orosto the Old, you begin moving back through the city towards the Noble District as well.
Before he does his check, Ninja, can I give him guidance?
We'll wait until we're in the Noble District.
Yeah. No, but
But-
once we get there, I'm just.
I'm like,
asking.
what check are you talking about? No check has been rolled.
Yeah,
But-
the Orosto's check for when he
Yeah.
goes delving.
Cross that bridge when we come to it. Alright,
Yes.
meanwhile, the other group is entering the Noble District. Where did you want to go within the Noble District here?
It's all
I
on you,
wanted to
see. It's
investigate
all,
the terrain, or
it's all on you. I came here for your body protection.
I have,
steal
I have a
things if
giant
you die.
lizard. What more protection do I need?
You never know. Shit can happen.
Can I investigate the terrain? Like, is anything off around? Wait, people are outside, or is the storm still going on?
You are in the Noble District. There are many mansions that are built up around here within the walls of the Noble District, surrounding the former Tower of Calic. The buildings are kind of tall, and it provides a lot of shelter against the sandstorm. So some dust filters down, and you're sort of like leaving tracks in the sand like you would through snow, but it's not suffocating like it would be out in the open streets.
Oh, okay.
But there's not many people
Not-
moving around.
Okay. Not many, but there are still some.
Yeah, occasionally a messenger will pop out of a building and head off on whatever task he's got. Delivery people, servants mostly. Certainly none of the nobles venture out while a sandstorm's happening.
Do any of the people that were at the meeting, like, do I know where they live?
Let's see. You would know how to get in contact with Milana, who's in the Veiled Alliance, and Milana usually hangs out with Sidira, and Sidira usually hangs out with Aegis of Astocles, so you'd have to go to Astocles Manor, which is right here.
Any other, like, nobles that were at the meeting live here, or do they all just live in different parts of this?
Well, there are some other nobles that are on the map here. Senator Traxxas's house is over here. You've got Senator
Oh, yeah.
Vildine's house is back here by these farms. And then Senator Trevellis is over here. And then
Alright,
you've
which
got
one
the
of them didn't-
Templars and the investigators here.
Which one of them didn't pay us off?
Which one didn't pay you off?
Yes. They're like, you know, they didn't offer, you know, hey, don't leave the investigation this way.
Wow, your microphone is terrible. Can you get closer to
Hello?
it? Speak louder. I have you at like 200%.
Wait, is it really that bad?
It's really that bad.
What about now?
Better?
Hold up.
Do this.
I can't unplug it.
Sounds good to me.
How do I sound everyone else here?
You sound perfectly
You're a
fine.
little bit quiet, but I can understand you.
Hold up. Hello?
Hello.
Ew.
Yes.
Is it better now?
Yeah, we'll go with it. All right, repeat your question.
Like which one didn't offer us something in exchange for not, you know, making them seem suspicious in any sort of way?
All right, well, Senator Turex wanted the investigation. I don't think any of the other senators have any particular skin in the game other than Agus and Sadira, because Sadira is in the Veiled Alliance. So they don't want anybody in the Veiled Alliance getting it's basically a witch trial that Turex is looking for. They want to burn the witch.
Can I investigate Senator Torax?
Sure, yeah.
Right, he lives here, right?
He lives in the Noble District somewhere.
I don't talk. Do I know where he lives, or do I have to ask around?
You will have to investigate.
All right, do I roll an investigation check, or do I?
Yeah, that's usually how that works.
Right.
I don't know shit.
Well,
All right. With the 12, you try to ask around about Senator Turex. None of the merchants, delivery people, servants, and other people in the streets seem to know much of anything about him. Other than
Definitely.
that he is a powerful and rich man.
so no one here knows where he lives.
So that'll be 1 to 20. That's... What about a 17?
Did you roll investigation?
Yes.
With a 17, you find a guard who can direct you to a different part of town.
Alright, then. Let's go.
Let's go.
I wish PDFs had a search feature.
Wait, is my mic really that bad, or what? I think I can.
Oh, it's not your mic.
Well, it doesn't help that I hear like a train and hammering in the background.
Hammering?
Yeah, it sounds like somebody hammering
that's
and a
awesome.
train. And I like
Yeah, I can hear the humming noise now.
and like the horn on the train is just constantly going off.
Yeah. Mic problems. No.
Or maybe a race car, like a high-speed race car. Like Gran Turismo.
I think that's Caster's computer fan.
Yeah.
Tabletop simulator.
I would not say it's a mic.
Plus Ultra.
No. Probably. There you go. Alright.
T-Rex,
Good
T-Rex,
now.
T-Rex. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, you find T-Rex's house. What do you want to ask him?
Can we come inside, please? This storm is very atrocious.
All right, you're invited in.
That's that easy?
You're led to a waiting area where you have to wait for a full hour.
Nah,
Damn. Anything look
Okay.
valuable?
There's some fruit there.
What type of food?
It's like apples in a bowl.
Good. I take 2.
They're made of wax.
Yeah,
God
I
damn
was
it.
going to say, weren't like plants, not extinct.
You seriously thought that there would be fruit just lying about?
Yeah, just valuable resources.
I forward that soil. Soul.
Why?
All right, so after an hour,
lucky
you
one.
have a meeting with Senator Terex, and he says, "I'm a busy man. What do you want?"
Here to ask you some questions.
I
You
have
remember
heard.
us, right?
I've heard you've been tasked with the investigation. Hopefully, you will uncover the Veiled Alliance, and they will be brought to justice.
What makes you think the Veiled Alliance did this?
Definitely magic was used in the overthrow of Kalik. Nobody could defeat Kalik without using powerful magics, clearly. Many explosions
still.
were seen in the assault on the
Even
slave
still,
pens.
Wasn't Khaled like a terrible ruler? Why do you care so much?
Because wizardry is evil, and the world was destroyed by the casting of powerful magics, and so all wizards must be found and expunged.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you don't mind if we investigate you for suspicion.
Well, I demanded the investigation. What's the point?
Well, could be what's it called? Like, not like a whistleblower. There's a word for it, but I can't think of
A snitch?
it. No, like where you start like make yourself seem less suspicious by putting what's it called?
Oh,
Anyone know the word for it?
red herring?
Well, he arches an eyebrow at you that you're accusing him of being a wizard. He looks at his guards.
Oh, you don't mind if we investigate your manor a bit, do you?
All right, his guards approach and they escort you from the building.
Just out the building.
You have been ejected.
Damn.
Really? That is mighty suspicious.
Yes, maybe you shouldn't have been so blunt with your approach, but I'm not there to tell you that.
You just walked in and told the senator who demanded that all the witches and wizards be investigated and said that he was a wizard. Very insulting. You might have just made an enemy.
We weren't saying he was a wizard. I was asking, hey, you're not completely to yourself. Let's investigate. That's not actually accusing you of being a wizard, is it?
Poor diplomacy skills.
Everybody.
Poor speechcraft, we should say.
I look at soil and guess you want to spy on him.
What?
You want to spy on him?
Spy.
I understand, but I'm
Yes.
trying to comprehend. Why would you want to do that?
You never know. He could be doing some witchcraft in there.
You might find
And
out
if we get
something.
caught- But you do know the risk of us getting caught heavily outweighs anything we could find, right?
That's why you're going to leave, and I'm going to do it.
You know what? I like
Just-
those odds. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He's just like, I'm not getting you in trouble by association. Go away.
Yeah, like this is all you. I go try to reunite with the party. You can spy on them though.
I'm going to go in like the back place of him and just look for a window.
All right, you're trying a crime infiltration. This requires
roll a stealth?
3 rolls. First, a stealth check.
This should go horribly wrong, Caster.
26.
Oh,
Okay, never mind. This
You-
can't go.
you successfully stealth in.
All right.
Well, hang on.
Now what?
Where's the roll at? I don't see it in the. I don't see it in the Dark Sun.
You just gotta take his word for it. It was a 26.
Did he roll it somewhere? Did he roll it on the table? Where's the dice?
That's
What are you
I'm
talking
thinking,
about?
really. Is that just
Are you making this up, Caster? What's the story here?
I'm not making it up. Fucking wall on goddamn volley isn't working. Nothing's loading in. Wish I can fucking say anything for that,
Can you
but I
see it on
can't.
your, Can you see it on your screen?
That one immediately disappears, bro. Okay, I'll roll again.
Ah, so he did roll it in here. Okay, so
19 plus 7?
Hang on. Fucking not working.
Yeah, it's just disappearing as soon as it appears. I saw it for a second there.
And the shit, it's not working, and fuck this.
If you're trying to use a bar raise, the one.
6. 5. I think 1, 2, 4, 5, and then another D6.
Wait, where's these D6s coming from?
4, 5, 6. Psionic boosting.
You're gonna boost your okay.
All right. So you had a 13, and then you boosted it by 5 to an 18?
by 11.
Plus 6.
So he boosted it. He double boosted it, and then he boosted it again.
What's the second boost from?
Psionic boosting shit. Is it?
Then what's the first boosting from then?
I'm confused.
I did it 3 times.
He's basically
Huh?
saying
Psionic
he boosted
guy.
3 times.
Like all we're doing is
No.
a stealth check. Just one roll.
I'm
Okay,
confused.
roll 3d6 so that we can just clear this up.
You're making your dice
Wait,
rolls
what?
very confusing, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand like what the story is here. Like
I'm boosting it.
Just
Psionic
Yeah.
power stuff.
roll 3d6. That's all you gotta do.
He's just adding psionics by saying I am adding psionics.
okay, so you stealthed in and you had a 13 and you added 5 from what?
But that's 2d6.
This,
Psionics don't add 2d6.
And then another
they
one,
add
I-
1d6.
Okay,
you don't
so
get
should
to
I
just
just
keep rolling.
Why?
should I ignore that 2d6?
what the fuck? Okay, I'll
Where's the 2d6 coming from, Caster?
the psionic dice. I did it again. Like I did 2d6. The second I
How
add
does
on-
psionic dice even work?
Yeah, none
But
of that.
how are
None
you
of that
adding
works the way you
2d6?
think it does.
Like I can
Yeah.
add as many psionic dice.
you
as
can
I-
you can make
Oh,
you can
I
make
guess
it
this-
you can make an ability check and you can add your psionic dice to it, which is 1d6, and you can only do it one time on that one ability check.
Okay,
You don't get to keep rolling until you get the result you want.
Okay.
so it's 13
knowing
plus 6
this-
then. It's 19. He already rolled the 1d6. We'll just go with that.
Okay, so having parsed all of those extra dice rolls and figured out what happened, you are caught trying to infiltrate the building, and the guards are going to.
I didn't go in.
Well,
I
see,
didn't go in.
you were caught
I was saying
trying
I'll
to
look
find
like
a window.
or something.
You sneak around into a back alley and you try to find a window, but this place is well guarded because he's a very rich man. And so the guards are going to rush over and confront you. And so at that point, you have the option of either stopping and talking to them or trying to run away.
Master, think about this.
Excuse me, you guys. Do you know where the bathroom is?
All right, you're going to have to roll a persuasion on that because that's a tough one to convince somebody that you're really looking for a bathroom.
Here's hoping.
1d6.
Wait, didn't you already use your psionic like thing to increase it?
It
before?
was it was a different wall. I can do it a number of times. It's a different wall.
Except
So it's 15.
your psionic dice is only dexterity. It can't be used on anything that's not dexterity based.
What?
Yeah, you have to pick an ability score when you got your wild talent initially, and you pick dexterity, which means you can only use that extra d6 on dexterity checks. So persuasion is not dexterity.
So isn't that just the base 11?
Not on here. Are you sure? Because it's not showing it here.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the.
I can look up the
feature.
feat.
Are you looking up on like the Dark Sun one? Because you allow the original from D&D.
Are you using a psionic talent feat or a class ability? Because you're like psionic, like psionic
It's my
build, right?
class ability. It's my class ability. That's why. It's not from the wild talent.
All right.
With that, it's 15.
All right. Unconvinced, the guard is going to arrest you. You're placed in
God damn
jail.
it!
All right.
Oh,
So
there goes
Sol,
all
you
the
just
stuff, all right.
Sol, you just saw Norcus get arrested and thrown in jail.
Oh my. Oh my.
all they're hearing is, I just had to take a shit.
How do I explain this? How do I explain this to the party? Yeah. He got arrested. Who was he? Yeah, well, how did he get arrested? We went to go question the senator, and he tried to sneak in through the back window. And yeah.
It didn't go quite
man,
as he had planned.
I'm gonna like, I'm on the way walking to like where the party's going. I'm gonna like practice my lines. How do I explain this? Okay, so.
I mean, if you get back with the party, I can think of one thing that we could use.
What are you planning?
I mean, we could just say that he's insane.
There you go. That's a thing to do.
Pleading insanity.
Insanity plea.
He's mentally unstable. Please understand. That could work. That could work.
But that's only when we're actually able to meet up. We're still making our way to the Noble District.
Well, you guys are on your way here. Weren't you questioning the spy?
Well, yes, we're on our way to do that, but we had to go to the Warrens to pick up Orasto.
Or who is Orasto? Oh, the psionic investigator. Okay.
Yes.
These are weird names. I'd like to get into.
Yeah, it's a two-step thing.
All right.
Speaking of which,
Is
Yeah.
Renza doing some?
All right. What happens?
Or Psycho Frog.
He fell asleep. That's where he is.
I'm not all the way asleep.
So Psycho Frog, what's your
partially.
input of what's exactly going on here?
I imagine Varenza has been sitting by the fire at the Red Kank Inn, stroking Dagger Maw and enjoying a warm brew and putting her feet up, and relaxing while everybody goes out on multiple side quests.
He's on a training day with the dog.
Well, I mean, there was nothing like people are going to question the other Urkite. Having me show up is probably not going to help. Nor is Varenza really an interrogating type of person. And the other two people are going to rob noble houses. Like Varenza's not about to do that
I'm not
either.
robbing.
I mean,
So-
it wasn't
Wow.
specifically
So-
said, but
No.
I'm
not
When,
robbing anyone.
when the rogue in the party says, "Let's go check out the noble quarter," Varenza knows what that means, and it's having nothing to do with it.
Yes, but I'm just a normal bar. Don't lock me in with that thief, that crook. I don't even know him actually.
Fuck you! I'm
Varenza
just
has-
trying to steal. I'm gonna fucking stab you.
I think
Also-
we found a new person in the group, to blame all the coup on.
you mean aside
So,
from Mad?
So,
How much?
hence why
can
Varenza
I bribe them
decided-
to let me out.
I'll be back. Hold on.
To
Did I just-
chill by the fire.
Oh, you've
We might
been
actually
you've
have to
been
pay-
thrown in a dungeon, so somebody's gonna have to get you out.
Yeah, we might have to pay to get you out.
This might be an issue.
Well-
Somebody's gonna have to figure out how to get you out of there.
I mean, I already have a plan. It just requires finding out what happened.
See,
I-
Caster.
You
should-
can
should
literally
have-
ask Soil. I
Caster,
said that. Let's check.
You mean Soul?
I said
It's
let's.
not soil.
Yeah,
It's Soul.
Soul knows.
Except he soiled
So
himself.
Caster, quick question. This is the same.
I
Like, you should have learned from Cyrus's endeavors in the Dark Defensive campaign. Criminal activity doesn't really go well.
At least not in the Noble District. You need
Sure.
really good rolls to succeed in the Noble District.
Well, he had a good roll, but it disappeared on him.
Soul.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I saw a couple of his
Soul
despairing rolls.
knows what I was
I
trying to
did
do. I
see
said,
a 26
let's spy on
Ninja.
him.
I did see a 26.
It's okay. He would have failed one of the next couple rolls. They were all DC 25.
Of course,
What?
yeah, because they're nobles.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, robbing nobles is always a DC 25.
So,
Middle
Caster,
class
what
is
did we
20.
learn
Trying
today?
to rob them.
What did we learn today,
Not,
Caster?
not to spy, not to fucking spy on people. God damn it.
Well,
But you won't-
it's not exactly the same, but it's in the same ballpark. They're just the Noble District has a lot of guards, and they try to keep people out. And so if it looks like you're a little bit suspicious, lurking around, maybe looking at the windows, they're gonna throw you right in jail.
I told you it was a bad idea.
On to our little group. That's
did
Vince
it.
is just chillaxing.
Okay. All right. So you guys were headed back across the city, through the alleys. Nothing especially interesting happens. You see some weird animals in the alley, dragging some rodents off into a dark corner to feast. You pass around the ziggurat towards the Noble District. Where were you headed in the Noble District here?
The Paladin's quarters to interrogate, well, to question Purim.
Okay. So you
Wait,
head
wouldn't-
towards the Paladins.
Wouldn't Norcus also be there now?
Yeah, you happen to have wound up at the same spot. So when you arrive, the Paladins are booking Norcus and throwing him in the dungeon. And I assume Norcus is saying, "Let me go! I didn't do anything." Right.
I had to take a shit.
I'll turn to Grimorn and Arasto and say, give me 1 minute.
During this entire scenario, all I hear is that SpongeBob thing, "Hey, pal." He's blowing from Stupid Town.
Praxis will walk over to the Paladins, putting Norcus into the dungeon and asks, what happened?
Wait, are you asking me?
No, I'm asking the Paladins.
Where are you exactly? Did you stay over by the mansion, or did you
He's-
follow?
No, you said that as we were going there, I told Grimorn and Arasto, give me 1 minute, and then I headed over to where the Paladins were booking Norcus and asked them what happened.
So, Sia, are you there?
I was on my way towards them, so I might have bumped into them along the way, but
So you weren't headed towards the prison. You headed in the
I was
direction
headed
they were
towards the
coming from.
Warren. I might have bumped into them when they were on the way to here.
Okay. So yeah, Soul meets you en route. So, are you gonna join the party again?
What I told you. I said that I was going to spy on them and shit.
Hey guys, you're totally going to believe this.
Okay. So when you get here, there's an investigator and a half-giant guardsman. The half-giant's got Norcus sort of grappled, and is putting Norcus in a prison cell.
Can we see this happen?
Yes.
This is why I hate these prisons.
What
So
did
the
this man
investigator's
do?
going to ask what you all are doing here.
Oh,
We would
were
like to
tasked.
issue a plea of insanity. And Traxxas will look over at Norcus and said, "You know that we told you to stay with the group. Why do you have to be such a child?"
What he said.
I want a waddle.
What?
Can I have sucky bottle?
What?
Ignorance
I'd
of the
like to
law
recommend-
is no excuse.
I just needed the shit.
But how can one be ignorant if one is not in their right mind? If you'll just let us take him off your hands, we'll make sure he doesn't cause any trouble again.
And who are you, and why would I let him into your custody?
Well, we are the investigators on behalf of King Tithian into the Calic incident. And we've also been tasked with babysitting this one.
And we were giving power to investigate where we want.
All right.
This
So
isn't,
when you say that it's on some sort of official king's business, he's going to think about it for a minute, And then he's going to say, very well then. He's going to have to send word and confirm a couple things, but if you wait here, we'll straighten this out. All right. Some time passes. Arosto looks about and says, well, I haven't been in this part of town in quite some time.
Really quickly, can I like stand near the caster cell, like drinking like some beverage or something? Say, hey pal, just blow it from Super Tap.
Shut the hell up.
That's what this feels like.
What did you say, Sia? I didn't quite hear you.
Did
Like,
you just
know that
blow in
thing
from Stupid Town?
SpongeBob? Hey pal, just blow it from Stupid Tap. That's it from
Fucking kill
SpongeBob.
All right. After an hour, the investigator returns, having confirmed that you are investigators also. And he says, all right. There was some suspicious activity. Try not to get yourself thrown in prison by lurking about the back alleys of the nobles. They don't look too kindly on people that seem to be, casing their buildings for potential robberies. Not saying you were doing that. Clearly you were doing official business of some sort. All right, so you've been released from your jail cell.
I will do one
Oh,
thing.
Zoid.
Praxis will just kind of line up right behind Norcus's head and give him a nice hard smack.
Okay,
I
five
hit
fingers
me
to the
with my
face.
AC.
No, to the back of the
You
head.
can try hitting me. I want you to roll for it.
Roll for it. Wow.
Roll to hit.
Roll for it.
Give me 1 second.
Yes.
Give me 1 second. I got sweat in my eye. It's very hot in my room.
Matrix dodge.
Alright, let's see. If I remember correctly, I have proficiency with my fists. So. 2. Okay.
Roll to bit slap. Yes, I love it.
Give me
How
1
strong is
second.
it?
Roll 1d20 plus 0. 10.
Nope.
A swing and a miss. All right, you guys came here for a reason. Who wants to be the talker of the group?
Well,
Well,
I believe
back.
it would be down to me or Sia, because
Hey,
Sia seems to be the only other person who can actually. Actually, never mind. I retract that statement.
Hey, what did I do? What did I do?
You got yourself kicked out of a noble's house that you were trying to investigate.
Hey, that's his fault, not mine.
I got a +4.
And I said I was
I didn't
terrible at
say
it.
anything that entire. I didn't say a single thing in there. I letting you wild the fuck out.
And I said I was terrible at RP.
Well, that's your fault.
So I guess, we've already painted you as the insane one, so I guess I'm the only one who's going to be talking.
All right, so Trexus,
Yes.
what do you ask? You're in charge of the investigation now.
Well, I'll first ask if we might be able to interrogate the spy that we had recently captured.
He's a crafty one. They lead you deep into the dungeons, into a back cell where he's been stripped of all of his gear, and there are signs that he's been beaten a little bit, probably questioned. He's got some cuts and some burns on him here and there. He's missing a couple fingernails and maybe a toe. So,
All right.
what do you ask?
I say, I say to the, they're an investigator. This guy's in a, yeah, this guy's. Okay. So, Traxxas will tell the investigator, we're plenty safe. We just need to talk to this man, maybe learn some information. So, if you could please leave so that I might be able to concentrate on my means of extracting information, that would be greatly appreciated.
Very well, but I'll be just outside this door. No funny business, he says as he waggles a finger at the Urakite on the other side of the bars.
Understood, of course.
All right.
Excuse
So,
me, I'll be
if
right
you
back.
imagine the room, there's like the cell that he's in, and then there's the room that you're in, and then there's a door that leads out into the hall. And so he goes out into the hall. He closes the door behind him. So now you're in this room that's separated by some prison bars in between. Him on one side, you on the other.
All right. I pull out some wine and a snake tongue and use suggestion on him.
Okay.
Now he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, tell me what your suggestion
And
is.
My suggestion is to open his mind to Orosto.
Wait a minute.
Looking for my stat block on Param. How much wisdom do you got, Param? Param's got...
I think if this character dies, I'll make a stupid meathead who doesn't even have the chance to RP.
Oh, I mean, if you can sing, that's a perk of being a bard.
Oh, he's got a 19. He beats your suggestion.
Ooh, he's gonna be a tough one.
All right, so Orosto the Old is here, and he's trying to read the surface thoughts of the Urukite. He's gonna say he's thinking about how much he wants to slit our throats. That was obvious.
Could we torture him a bit ourselves? You guys are down? Or?
I am not exactly up for harming somebody.
Chris, I know you're down.
Me? No, I think that would be pointless in this case.
Burning down an orphanage, I mean, not orphanage, burning down a farmhouse full of people is where you draw the line.
I just don't think it would work.
Who said?
But let's see what our friend here can do, and I'll cast a guidance on Orosto.
Hang on. Orosto's probing deeper into the mind of his victim. So, let's see. He can gain some insight into the reasoning, emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. So, let's see. His reasoning is that Hanuman is the greatest dragon lord and will conquer the world, and he'll be helping his lord by bringing down Tyr. So that's sort of his reasoning, and then his emotional state is that he's upset that he's failing his lord because failure is intolerable. And then what looms large in his mind is that he will die a martyr for his cause before the armies of Uruk even cross the gates. Definitely
So
sort of a zealot. So Orosto is going to pass along this information that he's getting through his detect thoughts psionic ability.
All right.
Can you tell if he has allies in the city?
Okay. He's going to try to probe deeper and find out more. So this is basically an interrogative spell. You can ask questions, and it might lead him to think about things that you want to find out that he doesn't say.
Mm-hmm.
So asking
I
him,
have a question for him.
asking him
then.
questions is helpful.
So I asked
So-
him, do you have any allies to bring you in and to work into the city?
Right. So when you asked that, he probably would have thought about his allies in the city. Apparently, his ally was killed recently.
Oh, didn't
Hmm.
wouldn't that be the other guy that I think Renza killed?
Yes. Yeah, you got the other one.
I'll ask a question. I'll ask him, how exactly were you planning on taking over Tyr with, well, when Kalik was still around? Apparently, you must have been here for quite a long time.
Well, he's going to just openly say that his mission was to subvert the will of Kalik and to, pave the way for Hanuman to conquer Tyr. So anything that he did was beneficial.
Man, this is
So any kind of sabotage that he could have done on the infrastructure here, any manipulation of people that he could have worked out, sowing discontent among the people was a major thing he was trying to do. Getting a lot of people
Maybe even
to
possibly an assassination attempt.
maybe. Are you asking that?
Yes.
Asking about possible assassinations. Orosto shakes his head no when the person refuses to respond. Apparently he wasn't thinking about anything along those lines.
Did you infiltrate any of the noble houses?
He doesn't answer, but Orosto is going to say he doesn't believe so. Pram seems to work among the lower classes, trying to cause riots and things. Not so much among the upper class and the nobility.
Did you work for the merchants?
No.
Or did you infiltrate the merchants?
Does not appear so.
How are you planning on sending messages to your Urukite allies about the things that you've been doing?
Orosto sighs and says, I'm sorry, I couldn't maintain concentration on it for this long.
That's fine, old friend. Go and rest.
Okay. The other investigator was watching. He's also a psionicist, and he's been sort of using his own abilities.
I asked him, have you learned anything new? And what did you learn from this man when you interrogated him?
Nothing. He's a crafty one. His thoughts are guarded.
And you can get any of any information that could have contradicted what he said, or maybe that was interpreted.
Nothing that seems useful right now. Now.
Give me a moment. I want to see if I might be able to try again. I have to look up culture. So here we go, traits. Once you cast it, you can't do. Yeah.
I'm just warning you guys. I will, if this character does die, I will give my next character a really, really bad voice.
Excellent.
Okay.
try
So
to-
we're not gonna be able to try the suggestion thing until I take a long rest.
Okay. I don't really have anything on my spells or anything like that I could help with.
He's got a strong will. He's hard to bend. And you really
Do
have to
orcs exist?
carefully word suggestions so that it seems reasonable to the person that's being cast on.
Let's
Do
see.
orcs exist in the world of the Dark Sun, or any sort of like half orc or something?
No.
Oh man, is there anything close to orcs?
Exterminatus. The Tarak. The Tarak is sort of like an orc.
I guess.
Mm,
Oh, actually, a ninja. A little question there.
Yeah.
If you had a potion of, let's say, of truth, and you did some sort of a mind scan like that, would you be capable to lie or hide the truth?
Probably
when it's
not.
being,
Potion of Truth is kind of forces you to respond truthfully, I believe. Like a zone of truth.
That could be a good combination there, I think.
That would be decent, yes.
Under the
Maybe
effects
we
of a
should-
zone of truth, the person's
Yeah.
likely to just not say anything.
Might not say anything, but what he's thinking, is he going to be able to hide that thought?
So, Truth Serum ingested. 150 gold. A creature subjected to this poison must make a DC 11 con save or become poisoned. And a poisoned creature cannot knowingly speak a lie as if under the effects of Zone of Truth. So, yeah, you could do that. And then you'd just
I
have
just
to
had an idea.
you'd have to get him to talk, but he is unlikely to do so. Even under torture, he's tight-lipped.
But if
But-
you're reading the mind, though, even if he's not saying it, it's going to be in his mind, though, no?
He's probably well trained to shield his mind from psionicists, which is why he's a spy.
Yeah, he's probably thinking of something just over and over and over again to force himself not to think about the things that he doesn't want uncovered.
But I do have an idea, although it's going to require everybody's part to convince a certain someone of the party to do it.
Do it. Do it.
Wow, Caster, you got extremely quiet.
He's at the end of a very long hallway.
There's somebody that was talking.
Is that what I sound like?
That's what you sounded like earlier when I couldn't hear you.
Is it better now?
Yeah, yeah, much better.
It's so low.
Oh,
Yeah,
it got worse.
sort of did get worse. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh shit!
Well,
I maxed out sound. Now he's gonna come in.
I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck's going on, but I can't.
It came back. It's better now.
So
Say,
Basically-
how long is the last one?
we get Varinsa to try and get on this guy's good side, since they themselves are an Urkite.
That's
We
an
could just
option.
torture him a lot more. I know some pretty gruesome torture.
This man is a fanatic. Like a fanatic.
They've
on his
already tortured him. It apparently does not work.
Hey, look, I got this one where we get 2 halves of a boat and some honey and a bunch of flies.
Hmm.
I know how to reverse crucify someone.
Reverse
Guys.
crucify?
We need to do this
I-
without putting him at risk of dying. Remember, he is already figuring on dying as a martyr. He doesn't care if he dies.
Is that just
cares
upside
if
down
he
by the
lives?
feet? I mean, how does that work?
We could sandwich him between 2 boats. and
Okay,
feed him
okay.
honey.
I can tell you the story of how the reverse crucifixion happened. Mage hand, put metal in it, and then heat metal, shove up ass.
That's called
That's how I did it.
impaling, and you're gonna.
I'm going to go have a cigarette while you all discuss this.
I wasn't thinking. I was more like put him in between 2 boats and feed him milk and honey, and put a bunch of flies there. So like,
I think it's a good time that we all take a break. I need to go grab a soda, and then I'll come back in a few.
Ninja,
What's up?
I think I'm gonna be calling it. So you can just have Brensa act as an NPC. You know how I normally.
this
act
early?
out. No.
All right. I'll have you tag along
Yeah.
so you're informed about what happens.
Yeah,
This early? Really, Cycleflow?
I've had a rough day.
Understandable. I know. Adulthood.
He was camping in the rain.
Ooh.
fun stuff.
Putting up and taking
Oh.
down a tent and pouring down rain is no fun.
Yeah, it's been
About-
kind of like that over here too.
With a 3 and a 6-year-old.
Mm.
Oh, but yeah, we didn't have that.
Adulthood sounds like it sucks. Throw away, I can stay a kid forever.
And I wasn't putting
Sorry.
a tent away either.
Well, thanks for making it. See you next week.
Have a good night.
Have a
man.
good one, guys.
You know, and anyone here wouldn't
Take it
know a way
easy.
to make people kid forever because adulthood seems to suck. Anyone know anyone?
It's something inevitable though. So
No.
Adulting
ready for
sucks,
it.
but being a kid is worse.
Really?
Yep.
It's been pretty chill.
You have more rights as an adult. All right,
I was-
people. Your investigation's going
Terrible.
terrible. You haven't learned much of anything. But then again, you're in charge of the investigation, and you can just make something up.
Yeah, but we got to make it seem like we're trying. That's why I'm over here trying to investigate. I wasn't gonna actually blame that guy.
but this guy's a fanatic already. Like even if we put him on a stage, I just feel like he would say something kind of insane. And
We could-
incriminate himself to a certain degree.
We could put a bucket. We could put a bucket of rats, and he like put hot coal on top of the bucket. But instead of putting it on his stomach, we put the bucket of rats on his ass.
Not the bees. Ah. Okay, so what do you do next? What's your plan, man?
So we got to make it at least seem like we're trying.
Well, you can talk to some other people.
Yeah.
Traxxas isn't the only one in town. He's the one that demanded the investigation, but there's other people that could be investigated. find my faction list here.
A bard that's bad at RP. Yes, the most perfect combo.
I think the next person to go see might be Sadira.
So let's see. There's the king, the council of advisors, the nobles, the templars, the craftsmen, the free farmers, the tenant farmers, the dispossessed, and the merchants. All these different factions around town.
There is Sadira we can talk to.
Yeah, Sadira's in the Veiled Alliance, and she has personally requested that your investigation not incriminate any actual members of the Veiled Alliance.
And as a member of the party, I would actually like to ask that you don't incriminate any members of the Veiled Alliance, please. My job is writing on this.
They wouldn't have been able to defeat Kalik without Sadira's help. She was sort
Yes,
of
they are-
pivotal in the overthrow of the former king.
They helped us in ways that are unimaginable, so can we return the favor and not try to get them arrested?
They were kind of key players in getting the Heartwood Spear that killed Kalik.
I'll talk to Sadira.
Okay. Sadira is hanging out with Aegis in his mansion over here in this part of town, the south side.
Hi Sadira, how are you doing?
All right. Sadira's here with Aegis and Milana, and they're looking at maps and discussing the battle plans for dealing with the armies of Uruk when they get to the walls here. If they get to the walls here.
W3.
May I talk to you privately, Sadira?
All right.
I have a few questions.
There's a side room. What do you ask?
So one of our friends here, part of the group that we are, part of the investigation, they were letting us know that you would probably want, the eyes to go somewhere else than towards, I guess your organization.
Yes, it's vital that the Veiled Alliance not face the wrath of the people. The Veiled Alliance isn't evil. No, all of us are preservers, not a defiler among us. In fact, if we ever found a defiler in our ranks, we would hastily end their lives ourselves. So
No,
the
I
people really have
understand that.
nothing to worry about, but they are superstitious and fearful and, in fact, hateful and bigoted against the Veiled Alliance. So the trick
I
is we need a
understand.
scapegoat, a good scapegoat that can take the fall for us.
Yeah,
Somebody
but,
that the people can throw their hatred at without it affecting us directly.
We've got a party member for you. Oh, yes, we do.
You might understand, though, that an individual like Terex would automatically think that you would have something to do with it. And it's not as easy as a task because you're
He wouldn't have
constantly-
any clue. Nobody knows she's in the Veiled Alliance.
Possibly.
It is
But
a
maybe
secret
there's-
organization. Nobody knows. I guarantee it.
Okay, so is there anyone in the city that you might know that could potentially take some of the blame?
Mm.
Any suggestions? Because that would help us a lot to try to keep the attention away from you to understand, who else might be involved. Take the possible criticism completely away from you.
You'd need to find somebody who fits the bill, like somebody who would have the appearance of, the evil defiler wizard that the people want to use as a scapegoat in this situation here. So,
Oh, we have a potential target. We've captured a spy from Eric.
the Urukite
Just-
spy. He did use magic. It was reported that he used magic in the marketplace. So that's a possibility. And
We actually saw him, like ourselves. We were there.
and because he's from
present.
Uruk, it does play into the sort of the local hatreds. People will be likely to believe that somebody from Uruk was involved in nefarious wizardry.
And
Yes.
when we had a conversation with him earlier, he sounded like kind of a fanatic as well.
Of course.
Do you
So-
have any suggestion on maybe help us expose that man Do you have any suggestion or maybe some assistance that you can give us? Maybe to learn a little bit more, or maybe to assist with, presenting him to the public. And
She
making him
sighs and
the-
says, "I'm afraid not. I have nothing helpful here." It's a good start, though.
I have an idea.
You know any powerful wizards?
Okay, thank you for your assistance.
She's probably the most powerful wizard in town.
Really?
Her
What
master
level?
died in the revolution, so it probably falls to her as the most powerful.
What's the highest level spell slots he has?
On this world, I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, let's see if it's listed here. Sadira.
So I see that you guys have been diligently planning to thrust Punham under the bus.
Who?
Param, sorry.
Param?
Param.
Yeah. And if that doesn't work, we have a clinically insane party member.
Yes. On the topic of being able to get more information, I have an idea. Unfortunately, it's a rather trust testing idea.
Okay.
So, Vrensa, our mutual Urkite friend, we basically have her beaten up, made to look like an Urkite spy, so that she gets thrown in with Purim, and while she's in there with him, she finds out a little bit more, kind of just acting like, oh yeah, Hanuman is the greatest, blah, 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 blah. I mean,
Try to approach him and gain trust.
Oh.
from him.
But wouldn't that also incriminate, Varenza? We don't want to have.
If-
We don't have a second party member in prison, do we?
But it's not if we are planning it and present,
So let the guards know
faking
that
it
it's all
exactly.
just-
It's not like we're gonna get him in trouble, but just infiltrate the prisoners. That's a possibility. But Varensa's gone. So,
oh, dang.
yeah, I know.
I mean,
You had a long day.
Quick question: do you guys have any RP tips or?
So,
sure. How do you normally act?
Like this?
And
I
how
am
do you
not
want
very
your
sure.
character to act?
No clue.
Figure that out. That's the best place to start.
like, think about the backstory for your character.
Yeah, think about your character's likes, dislikes, what their mannerisms are. Do they have any tics? Just mold the character.
The alignment can also like guide you. Your background, if you choose.
Yeah,
one.
you're a bounty hunter. You're like chaotic neutral.
Yeah, so you have certain goals, and you use your skills to, I don't know, advance towards whatever.
My backstory is pretty much Boy Go Sing Sing.
Then play the character.
Okay.
Take decisions the way you would take them.
It says here Sadira is a 10th level preserver wizard.
Only 10.
Yeah.
I expected her to be able to cast a wish or something.
Well,
Level
hang
10
on.
is still pretty strong for.
I don't think casting wish exactly would be.
I think maybe like initially she was a 10th level preserver, but then she's an 18th level sun wizard by the end of it. So that's like at the end of book 3, I guess. So she gains about 8 levels in the course of the 3 books.
Yeah.
And I don't think we can use wish in Dark Sun because, I mean, if people could use wish, they just, I wish that the world was restored.
Wouldn't
Or
work.
people just haven't reached that level of magic.
Well beyond the scope of a wish spell.
Really? I thought wish spells were like omnipotent.
A wish spell can pretty much copy the effect of any other spell of 9th level or lower. So you could do anything that any of those other spells could do, but you couldn't do anything more powerful than a 9th level spell with that.
You can turn back time, bring the
Pretty good,
present
or-
and the past. You know.
You can
On
do
the
a lot
side.
of interesting things, and a lot of it is really just up to the DM whether he'll allow it or not. But
Exactly.
the wish spell is not infinite and all powerful. It's not like a genie's wish that can just magically make anything happen. It is.
Could you wish
Kinda
an
limited.
infinite water well?
I mean, you could probably wish for a well, and a well, while not infinite, would probably last for decades.
If you made an infinite well, that you would be the richest man on this side of the universe.
I mean, wells
yeah,
exist
like
in
you-
Dark Sun. There's wells in town here. They're fairly common, but yeah, it's difficult to find water spots. So there's like a few oases and a few wells, and that's about it.
What time of day are we at right now?
Noon,
9:58 p.m. Oh, you mean noon.
in-game noon.
So, noon. Well, is there anything else we could be doing? We've already, used up our time for Purim.
You haven't gone to
Well-
the arena yet. You haven't talked to Quick Wenzer about his dreams of attacking the army of Uruk preemptively.
Anyone here know
Um,
pass? Anyone here know pass about a trace?
Sorry, Ninja. Just like last week, like at the end of the game, there's like one of the group that approached me and kind of try to bribe me. Which group was that? Was it the merchant or was it the?
I think it was the guy who had us burn down the farm.
No. It was like one of the markets. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back to the video and watch.
It's like the workshop or the.
Blacksmith District, is that what you're thinking of?
unless I made
It
a
wasn't
note about
blacksmith.
it.
It was just a different name. I think it was part of that list that you enumerated earlier on.
Yeah, one of those groups.
Yeah, not like it wasn't like a group from one of the senators or the. It was just like one of the organized groups in the city, one of the markets.
You might be talking about that other side quest between Counselor Turloff and Master Syntha. So it's like the laborers versus the merchants, and
No, it was a different one, but it's okay.
yeah, I don't know. I'll go back and watch the video. It's been weeks. I forget.
Yeah, me too.
It's
And
like,
it was kind of last second at the.
it's like a minor thing at the end of a game, and I didn't make a note about it.
But anyways, they gave me a gold, so
Are there like secret underground tunnels in Uruk? Not Uruk. What's this place called again?
Here.
Here. Yes.
I believe that there's not much underground tunnelage in Dark Sun. It's mostly surface stuff. Sand is not a good medium for building underground.
Okay.
Not
Some
unless
some
you're
tombs
an
and
earth
lairs
creep.
do exist, but they're not super common.
Unless you were an Earth Priest.
Right. The dwarves do
trying to
have
un-
some.
I'm trying to uncover some sort of secret in the city of Tyr.
Yeah, the dwarves
Yeah,
wouldn't be
that's
here because Kalik was trying to exterminate them all. They'd probably have out in the wastes in the wilderness. There'd probably be some plateaus with some dwarven bases built into them.
Was Kalik ever sane before this?
Well, he was always an evil wizard.
But who joined?
I don't think he was ever insane, technically.
Sane people are probably more dangerous than the insane.
Oh, hey James.
Yeah, long man.
Long.
So, running a bit late there.
Hey, sorry. I did not. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of sleep, so I overslept.
Right on.
It's okay.
My
Well, we
sleep
were just
schedule's been a mess as well.
We were just talking about maybe going over to see Quick Windsor since we used up our time on Purim.
Hey yo, Long, can you give me pass with other trays?
Give me a second.
Wait, are you seriously thinking about trying again?
I didn't try it at all.
Well, no, not you, but I guess I'm sorry. It's just the fact that I had to use the insanity plea on Caster.
I was gonna go grab a drink. I'll be back in a minute.
No problem. But I mean, it is more believable that Caster would be insane.
Yeah, but I wouldn't try anything as idiotic as trying to, something like that. Especially when I know the risks heavily outweigh the pros. I knew the chances that he probably doesn't have anything shady going on. So, I was just going to investigate him because, make it look like we're taking this seriously. But of course,
What is this insanity thing when like you
Oh,
tried to
Caster tried
steal
to-
all our money?
no, that's not what it. Caster tried to spy on one of the nobles, and he got caught, and we have to play insanity to get him out. It worked like a charm.
Well, it was more the fact that we were investigators from King Tithian.
I'm surprised they didn't question why Tiffany went higher as the same investigator.
How long you missed Caster Blaster getting himself thrown in prison?
Hey, pal, you just blowing.
Ah, man.
It was pretty
I'm
funny.
gonna watch the stream.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
he did pass his first check,
but
but
we have no proof.
Ninja did say that he would probably fail his next 2 checks, as all of them were DC 25.
Yeah.
A bard that can't RP and a rogue that can't sneak. Oh man.
Hey, it's really hard to sneak into the Noble District. The DCs are very, very hard. As
Well,
Unless
that's
you
a
had,
lot of
like,
trace,
cloak of
probably.
invisibility.
If only we had passive out of trace.
Well, I mean, that'll prevent people from tracking you, but it's not going to stop people from seeing you walk by.
It gives you a +10 to stealth.
No, that's not how Pass Without a Trace works. So how about it, Long? You up for going up against another match with Quick Windsor?
Yeah, it does give you +10.
Yeah.
It's
Passive
pretty
out of
useful.
trace. Cast
I
income,
wanna-
one action.
I want to beat him.
That +10
Bonus.
bonus would come in real handy on the first check.
A vial of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. The duration of each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
Yeah, that +10 bonus is a big help, so probably worthwhile if you're trying to do a stealthy mission.
Right. So, anywho, Long is up for another rematch with Quick Windsor.
All right, so you guys head to the Gladiator Arena then, I guess. Is the whole party going?
Yeah,
You
I
gonna bring
mean-
a roast to the old with you?
I have really nothing else to do, so yeah, sure.
Wait, why is Roast to the Old with us?
Why is he old?
He's helping with the investigation because he's psionic. He can detect thoughts and read the minds of people like Param, the spy from Uruk.
Where are we
and
heading now?
he's more trustworthy than most of the other people that they have in the city.
Oh, absolutely. I worked with Orosto a few days since we've been here to help clean the street a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Roast to the Old like not like us though for like doing something with the?
I don't think we've seen quarrels with a roaster.
That was just a, sort of like a reaction roll. Those don't always stay that way forever. It's just like a on the spot first impression sort of thing.
Okay.
So during a conversation, I'll probably roll a bunch of dice just to see how the NPC reacts. And from time to time, it'll go up, it'll go down. And then it's modified by the big events, like how well they like you, how many missions you've done for them, stuff like that.
Are there any side quests available?
Always. Tons. Thousands. I've got,
I mean, you don't have to go to the gladiatorial arena. You can go and do something else.
If you're looking at the stream, these are all side quests here.
And what is the strategy this time when we go to the gladiator pit?
Well, I could give long a buff before the fight actually starts, that nobody would probably be
So this
suspect.
would be a one-on-one.
Wait, Pog, someone subscribe to Ninja with Twitch Prime.
Oh, really?
I don't
Yeah.
have Prime.
I
Someone named Joe
don't
Dad.
have the stream up because I don't have two
He
monitors.
subscribed with Twitch Prime.
20% off. Gift sub.
And I got to add on his video. Hey, we're making it so far.
Oh wow, Joe Dab subscribed. My first subscriber. Thanks, Joe. Cool guy.
Who's Joe?
He's from my other game.
Oh no, that was supposed to.
He plays Antonio Dabas, the bard.
Mhm.
He throws around a lot of vicious mockery.
Maybe he can give
Yeah,
me some
I play a Blood Ranger.
So, who all is going to the arena, and who all is going to do their own thing?
Can I look for a side quest?
I'll go to the arena, but is this going to be a one-on-one?
Okay,
Type of
so Soul is not going to the arena. He's going looking for a side quest.
Supposedly, unless you think you can take on another like level 6 gladiator. Because if we do, they invite friends. If I don't fight Windsor one-on-one.
Which friends though? And do they allow?
I would assume it's like gonna be like Kanla or like Chadrol that's gonna fight like also,
Oh no.
or Lisan.
A Chad roll. The Giga Chad?
Yeah. And I
Giga
don't
Chad to
wanna
the
fight
rescue.
More than one.
Is Orosto helping you in the fight?
Yeah, he's just here for the investigation.
Yeah.
The old man psychic is not gonna fight for you.
I've
Nope.
been muted this entire fucking
Oh
time.
man, guys, I got some bad
There he
news.
is.
Just heard gunshots outside my window.
I've been muted for the past few minutes.
Have you been saying something?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
How close are the
Don't worry,
gunshots?
Down the street, probably at the liquor store.
All right. Well, that's not too bad, I guess.
Oh no, the
I'm
liquor store's like
following-
30 feet away. It's fine though. They didn't hit me.
I'm following Soul because I want to look for some side
This
quests
is-
also.
This is unrelated to D&D, but I used to live in Orlando, Florida, and the part of town I lived in was like 2 blocks away from this really like hardcore gang territory, where like I think it was the Latin Kings or something like that. But anyway, a couple times a week, police helicopter would fly over the house, and there'd be like some person running through yards trying to get away, and then the police helicopter has like the FLIR camera, so they can see your thermal image. Even if you're hiding under something, they can still see the heat outline of you. And they're like
I kid you not.
they're like screaming through their like loudspeakers, like, "We can see you. You can't hide from the FLIR cameras. You might as well come out." And we're all just, me and my roommates, we're all just in the house, just hanging out, watching TV. It's like, oh god, not again.
I kid you not. That exact thing with the helicopter you just said happened last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That used to happen all the time.
All right. So Soul and
I'm
Grimoire.
not abandoning the party. I'm just going
Yeah.
for a side quest.
I'm not sure if I want to fight. Yeah, I tell you, if we were a full group, maybe.
Okay, well, I'm gonna spoil your fun. When you get to the arena, everybody is underground.
Is there another Haboob?
There is
Yes.
a haboob. It's been blowing like crazy for hours today. Most people have not been outdoors much, so when you get to the arena, everybody's down in the underparts, hanging out
It's-
underground.
Is
I mean, you could
Windsor
still
there?
fight there.
Yeah, but there's no point if they're not gonna leave. I mean, other than maybe he won't leave the next day if he's like having to rest. I don't know.
The Haboob, which is they're using the Haboob for cover. They already left.
Mm.
Yeah, wouldn't this be a perfect day for them to go and attack the other army?
Not
Haboob make
really.
a perfect cover to sneak up.
Not really. Nobody
the
wants to go out in a dust storm.
I think the Quick Windsor is strong enough to fight the storm.
You'll find that the gladiators are not real enthusiastic about rushing out on a day like today. The weather is so terrible that they're gonna just hang out, have some drinks, do some arm wrestling contests, and enjoy a nice relaxing day in the under areas of the arena.
All right, what if I arm wrestle Quick Windsor to stay?
What is your strength score?
He's always up for a challenge. If you want to test him, he'll arm wrestle with you.
Alright, I'll say, Quick Windsor, I'll arm wrestle you this time into you and your group will stay until the army
Okay.
of cheers is ready to march all together.
All right. Well, Quick Windsor never backs down from a challenge. It would make him look weak in the eyes of his men, so he will accept your challenge.
By the way, I had cast guidance on Morg before we
Okay.
got down there.
I want to give him a bardic inspiration as well.
Man, I gave him advantage and +10, and I still only got a 17.
I was gonna,
Oh,
can I
You have an
get a-
extra d6. You have an extra d6 in your roll, James.
Would
okay.
it be a bless or a guidance for something like that?
Bless, it's a strength check.
Yeah, so I'll cast bless on you before
Okay.
you sit down. Concentrate.
You're,
on
you're inspired. You're inspired bardically.
So that's
Okay,
2d6
I'm going
I
to rage, so I will have advantage. So it's bless is a d4.
Yeah.
Is the bardic inspiration only a one-time roll, and I can choose when I want to use it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends.
If you manage to fail this, Quick Windsor deserves to go out and win that war. That's strength.
Quick Windsor rolled
Oh,
a
wait,
7 and a
no.
1. You have to win this. Come on.
Come on. If you somehow manage to fail this, I will leave the group. I'll leave the group.
All right.
It's 50.
15. A
On your
man of
first
his
roll?
word, Quick Windsor nods his head and says, I'll not go rushing off to battle this day. You are quite a mighty arm wrestler. Congratulations.
So, I think this was for tomorrow, not today. Because today, you're not gonna go in it.
Yeah, there's a hoboob.
You're not gonna go against the storm. We all know that you'd never go there.
Quick Windsor apparently is not a good listener or a bright man. What he heard was, he'll not go today.
Because he's a coward.
Wait, how's that side quest journey going though?
All right, the
Yeah.
side quest thing. So,
Yeah.
I have a thing for that.
Wait,
I didn't
where's
say
where's
for
Skip
today
at?
or for tomorrow. I said
Wait.
until the whole army of cheers is ready to go, which
Wait,
might
is
be a
Skip with
week.
us? Where's Skip?
Where's
Oh,
who?
man.
What?
Skip. My giant
Yep.
lizard.
You
Oh, you
have a
did.
giant lizard?
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I named him
Bought
Skip.
one?
Yeah, a warring. 16 feet long,
This one.
a couple thousand pounds. You know.
This one.
Oh, why does he?
Are you guys comparing lizards over there?
What the fuck happened to him? Are you sure that's what he looks like?
What?
He's like,
That's a mechalot. What do you mean?
that's how, on stream. It's like just like a flat dinosaur.
Yeah, it's because you're looking at it from top.
I mean, wait, do war enixes usually go on all fours, or are they usually on their hind legs? I don't know, whatever.
Hey, Sia, what class are you again?
I'm a bard with level 1 fighter.
Bard fight.
looks like a duckbill platypus.
Oh yeah, if you're worrying, I'm following Soul, so he doesn't get in trouble like he did last time.
Well, if there's a haboob and I finish arm wrestling him, I guess we just hang out more.
I'm sorry, but
Who
the
wants
term
to do a
haboob,
drinking contest? with
I'm
them?
sorry, but the term haboob will never not be funny.
I'll say if anybody's got a shot of poison, I'll drink that.
Why would you?
I'm immune to poison.
I mean, are you immune to alcohol poisoning? Can you just keep drinking all the alcohol?
Can you not get drunk?
That's not a poisoning. It's a poisoning.
Have a high constitution score, and every
I
time
mean,
you're about to get
alcohol
drunk-
is poison. A very mild poison, is it not?
Well, everything is like.
That's DM's discretion, I guess.
Wow, that was such a good one, but he's not going to do that.
All right, what happened?
I'm looking at my side quest for one that fits here.
I'll take anyone.
I mean, that one was good, but it only works for women.
Drinking.
I can
Why
make
does
it
it only
work.
work for women?
I could make
Take
it work.
a wild guess.
Is there a bounty in the city? Isn't like 2 of you guys like are bounty hunters?
Veraxis is. Or,
Renza.
Renza, sorry. Renza's out camping.
Out camping at the tavern. Yes.
Well, Anarchus, what is the background of Anarchus?
Narcus is a street criminal.
Wait, I have a question.
Alright, I'm back.
Who is the most stubborn person here?
So,
Who's the most what?
Wait, what?
Wait, say that again.
something happens. While you're traveling, you're approached by a man who introduces himself as Brother Buntlin.
Okay.
Does he make bunt
And
cakes?
who is this? What does he look like?
What does he look like? It's like a short guy.
Brother Buntlin is an aspiring young priest of air. He's gonna tell you the high priestess at the temple is well known as a scholar in the fields of air magic and the nature of air. On the other hand, young Buntlin has had none of his work accepted into the annals of the history of his temple, and he's getting desperate. And so he seeks out you. You're somewhat well known from the Revolution. He intends to make adventurers his major field of study, and he's going to ask you about your exploits so that he can put it into his lectures and writings.
Oh. What? We haven't really done much, but I'll tell you what we've done.
I mean,
If
you're
you
a
want me to
key figure in the rebellion, aren't you? Don't you work directly under King Tithian doing investigations and whatnot?
Yes, we really do.
Didn't you survive in the arena battle where Calic died?
Yeah. If you word it like that, it makes them sound more grandiose than they actually are.
Obviously. So I want to hear all about it. Tell me your whole story.
All right, can I tell them a story, or do I have to actually say it, like go on an expedition of what we
I'd
actually
stay
did?
politically correct because there's some weird shit.
Well, I actually have to go on a dialogue about everything we did, or can I just say, okay, so I want to.
You could also make up some shit if you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
like,
great.
I-
This is great. You were
I
like, I
killed
suck at.
God.
You said I suck at RP, and so I pulled out a card that's just an RP quest.
So, let's not include, parts where we're burning down farms,
Okay. Can I just roll like what can I roll for a persuasion?
That's your option. You can either tell a story in RP, or you can say, well, I tell a story and do a roll, if you don't feel like explaining it too much.
I tell a story and do a roll. What do I roll?
All right.
Persuasion?
It would probably be history, but
Okay.
it could be persuasion.
I want to twist the story a little bit, so like add some shit like.
Well,
what
in
can I
that
add,
case, it
guys?
might be deception because you're trying to add to the story.
What kind of lie about in the story?
And it could also be a performance. If you're gonna make like a bardic performance out of it, you could pull out your musical instrument and do that kind of roll.
Yeah, I want to make it a performance roll. So that's a +7. If I somehow fail this, I'm gonna be very sad.
All right. So
Roll.
he asks you to tell him a story. You sing him a song instead.
The song is the story.
A song of epic adventure and surviving the great battle in the arena.
I got a
And
12.
slavery
12.
with +5. It's +7.
God.
I got a 5 on the roll.
Well, I mean, it could have been more impressive, but he's very excited. And he's just gonna follow you around. Where are you headed? What are you up to?
We have a companion now.
Oh, do we have like one of those annoying that annoying oblivion companion?
Exactly. That's basically what this is. It specifically says that he's a real pest and he won't leave your side.
Well,
Well, since Traxxas is bored of just sitting around, Traxxas will go looking for Soul.
In the haboob.
and
in the
I'm
Haboob.
sorry, but Haboob will never not be Haboob.
He's a gassy priest. Get it? He's an air priest. He's walking
Full
around.
of hot air.
You know what? I'm gonna twist it now. I'm gonna ask him about what has he done. What is your profession?
He's an air priest.
He'll tell you, I have summoned the east wind, and the north wind, and the south wind, and the west wind, and the wind from down below, and the wind from up above.
And what were you doing during the revolution?
What were
when
you
people
doing?
freed the village, the city, and escaped
Were-
from?
Were you also a
this,
slave?
Tending to the wounded. Healing spells, mostly.
Ah, yes, and I tell you about our epic battle in the slave pits with the elves, those wretched foul beasts.
Ah, excellent. That's what I came to ask about.
Yes, and we also encountered a couple of Urukite spies in there. Not spies, but Urukite prisoners.
What do I have a bad feeling about this guy?
Oh,
What?
yeah, definitely. We're going to have to kill him later, but, like, for now, let me just get the
Yeah.
We're all inside check.
And tell us, how do you see the new city? And what do you think of this this war?
How do you-
that is
what do you
about-
think
is
you-
upon us?
What do you think about the new social order and your opinions on the war?
Hold on. I'm looking for a figurine I can use for this guy.
How tall is he? Like, is he like a dwarf or?
Nah, he's a priest. So I need like a figurine that's like priestly.
You can try this. That's more mage. One of the.
What's a good one to use?
Caster blasters. They're like a vacuum cleaner running in the background.
No, it's his race car.
It's a fan.
He's in an
Oh,
F1 race car. Or possibly a race car bed.
I honestly don't know what the fuck's going on. I need to buy new headphones
Maybe
or
he's
something.
sleeping in his race car. What do you?
No, I'm not.
I'll be right
Wow.
back. Okay.
You hear me now?
We could hear you before. It's just we could also hear the race car.
TV.
Listen, he's actually sitting in the middle of a turbine. You gotta give him a break. He's doing the best he can.
He's a transformer. He's turned into a jet engine.
Jeez, you guys are just wailing on Caster today.
Okay, so this is Brother Buntlin, the air cleric. Cleric of the air.
Yeah, this dude
He's
led.
a human psionicist. Okay.
Dude definitely looks sus.
Right.
Tell by his face.
Traxxas had gotten bored of waiting around and so went searching for Sola in the hobo.
Alright, when you find Sol, he's got a new companion who's following him around, asking him all sorts of questions. Just an abundant plethora of questions, one after another. Where did you go? What did you do? Who did you meet? What did you say? What did you do? Did you do something else about that? When did you meet that person? And just question after question.
And I see, does Sol look like he's in some sort of distress?
I'm back. I am back. Sorry, did I miss anything important?
How do you
Yes.
feel about having a superfan follow you around?
Perfectly fine. Does he know how to wield any sort of magic or weapon?
Magic, yes.
Yes, perfect companion. What's his name?
Right, but he's also assaulting you with questions.
I'll answer them gladly.
Alright. Well, he's quite content then. He's following around a local hero and learning all about the Glorious Rebellion.
I see him.
Yeah,
I'll
he's right
say,
here.
I'll
I
say,
see you.
hello, Sol.
uh,
I see that you've made a
I'm
new
gonna
friend.
go up to him.
Yes, yes. He's asking me about our adventures. Would you mind giving him some more, highlight on it?
Oh, are
I'm
these
gonna
other
go
other adventurers
And
that
I'm-
helped you in the revolution against Kellic?
Yes, yes. They were a big help.
Can I offer him some weed?
Sure.
You don't have weed, Hunter.
I
He,
groaned.
he
Unless-
accepts the plants from you and he says, "Wow, you found plants. What a rarity."
How? Wait, what?
Ah, yes, is if you smoke it. Trust me, you'll feel great. and I leave.
Jeez.
All right.
Well, Traxxas will introduce himself and say, I am a traveler from. What was that city name again? Hold on. Give me 1 second. From. Bitterwell.
Albuquerque.
Bitter. I am a traveler all the way hailing from Bitterwell.
Bitterwell. Far afield from Bitterwell.
Indeed. I came across the wastes in search of nature's wonders.
Quite a difficult task, that, crossing the wastes. I've only done it in large caravans.
Yes, but when you are one with nature, you find that living amongst the world's natural wonders to be a lot easier.
Never did like nature much, aside from the glorious winds that scrape across the desert.
The winds, the trees, the mountains, all these things are good.
All of it is a force of nature.
The open air, the vast breezy desert. The wail of the haboob. These things please me.
I must say that the vultures of the skies do intrigue me. How they are able to fly so far and be able to find a meal each day.
He's going to cast various prestidigitations and cause the air to flit about in little tornadoes.
I applaud him.
Okay, I like this guy now. He
I did the
definitely
same
not
thing,
sus.
and then I set up a little fireball inside of the tornado.
So now you got a fire cleric and an air cleric in your group. Oh man.
Oh god.
Synergy.
He-
Now you can have like a blast furnace. One produces flame and the other one just blows air into it, and so it
Or,
superheats.
or
Yeah.
do I hear wind tornado? Yes, please.
Yeah, why not? Like
This
yeah,
dude
we
is
could
definitely
create our
gonna
own
betray
spell,
us.
Our little combo, wind tornado, man. 'Cause that's a new thing.
I'm just saying, like, enjoy the time you have with him before he betrays us.
I don't think he's gonna betray us. If he does,
You-
well,
That's his fault. He's dead.
yeah. To be honest, yeah. But he wouldn't do something so idiotic, would he?
A
I'll
lot
show,
of DMs do that.
I'll show off Vin, my snake, to Brother Buntlin.
All right.
And be like, this is my dear friend, Vin.
Is it
Say
food?
hello, Vin. No, Vin is not food. Vin is a friend.
And this is Skip, my Enix. Say hi,
Vin is
Skip.
actually part of the
Did this turn
story.
into Finding Nemo?
Yes,
Oh, I know
Vin
DuckTales.
actually played a part in the
DuckTales.
revolution.
Sure.
Is your friends not food?
That could be an article.
Wait, what are we getting from this quest besides a companion?
That is it.
The satisfaction of making Soul squirm by trying to do RP.
Haha! I made him flat enough that this actually works.
The flat dinosaur.
Anyway, whatever it takes, right?
I'm sorry, that's just too hilarious to look at.
I mean, couldn't you just done the chain thing?
I
What the
could.
fuck?
Looking at it sideways is kind of funny, though.
Yes. He's a lowrider dinosaur.
Yep.
Isn't there literally? Can't you literally just use the one with the hammer tail instead?
The lowrider is a little lower.
No, that would be for someone else. That would be for
Mechalot.
yeah, the giant ones.
Do you know what you call a midget mechalot? A mecha little?
What?
It's a mecha little instead of a mecha lot.
I'm leaving the campaign. Thank you guys so much. That's a,
Oh, you didn't like how puntastically amazing that was?
You flipped
That
it
joke-
over and
I'm
you're
not-
rubbing its belly like an alligator, huh?
I'm sorry. That looks so ridiculous as fuck. That looks.
That's what did it.
Wait. What did it? Huh?
The pun.
I'm not actually leaving.
All right, guys. It's well into the afternoon at this point. What else do you want to do in this fine day in the Dark Sun universe?
Is there any more side quests that involve combat?
You're looking for a combat side quest, eh?
You know, that'd be fun. I want to test out this
Maybe
new
we can
dagger I
ask
got.
our friend here,
Oh yeah, I could ask him.
Rostos, and ask him maybe, is there anything going on in the streets that you need some assistance with?
What's his name?
Brother Buntline.
Orosto? The
Oh,
old-
Aristo. Aristo. Wait, no, isn't that the investigator?
Oh, Orosto. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's,
but he's a crime fighter on the side, you know?
yes.
He's Batman.
Aresta, do you know anything that's going around the state that could use, our help? Or
Yeah.
being an investigator. Really? Anything?
Maybe. I don't know about this one.
The quest just says kill God. I don't know about this quest, so we can take it. What the quest says: exterminate God.
Yeah, I don't know
The
about
air
this one.
god.
This one's a little too crazy.
What is it?
The heck?
Kill one of the 4 winds.
We'll take it. We're requested. We're strong, hardy adventurers. Isn't that right, guys? Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
You're supposed to say, yeah, not just leave me in silent.
Yes.
I said yes.
There we go. There we go. Exterminate the god of this dimension without taking any damage, and for 500 gold.
That's extreme. Alright, what are we gonna do now that we have this platypus?
Flatipus?
Isn't there a better, wasn't there like you got that you said you got that from a dinosaur pack, right?
The War Enix?
The Warrior. Is there a model for the Warrior?
There was a
Oh.
bag here. The 28 dinosaur bag.
Soul's writing it, right?
Choose
Yeah.
one of the better one, I think.
Purple. It is
How many-
party.
How many people can fit on the shadow?
Only one? There can only be one.
Yes, to make sure Soul gets better at RP, put him in a bunch of situations where he has to RP, trial and error, am I right?
Takes practice.
Just give him a ridiculous amount of RP scenarios, and he'll get better at it eventually.
Do you know how many days people practice for theater? Lots.
Speaking of practice, I think I'm going to handle. I think I'm going to do some more animal handling training with Vin.
All right. I got a thing here. Yeah, if you go looking for a mission, you're approached by a person who's heard of your exploits, and they're going to
Listen.
explain to you that a family of Anacor have moved in near his farm on the outskirts of Tyr, and he's been seeking some mercenary-type people, capable fighters that might be able to help him deal with it, but he hasn't had much luck finding somebody willing to take on the task because Dune freaks tend to be kind of dangerous. Would you be willing to help with my task, good sir? Will you face
wait.
these monsters for me?
Wait, who is here with me? Like the whole rest of the party, or?
I'm with you.
Oh.
Morg's still at the arena.
Excuse me.
I don't know how long I'm gonna stay, because I gotta go soon. but I can be an NPC just throwing daggers and getting them back.
Wait,
How
are you
much-
guys just running around in a haboob? Or is the haboob?
We're inside the city. The haboob isn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, this side quest would take you outside the city to the outskirts of town.
That'd be fine by me.
But
I
it
mean,
would
I'm
take you
used
out
to
into
it.
the haboob, so it's really bad weather for it.
I mean, I'd be down, but can we like try this another day? Like, can he wait till tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, wait, are we taking this quest, guys? Or-
Yeah, we can do this quest.
We'll gladly take it quest, but you might have to wait another day because the horrible haboob outside. Haboob.
All right, so this is a group of villagers. I'm gonna rename the stack of people into villagers.
Actually, that's another thing we could be doing. I just thought of it. We could be doing an anti-propaganda campaign to kind of rout out Perm's attempts to sow discontent amongst the masses.
Wait, do what about it?
An anti-propaganda campaign to undo what damage
Wow.
Perm
You
might
wanna
have done.
re-inspire the people? Well, mostly he was convincing the people that Uruk wasn't on the way, so you'd have to counter it, you'd have to convince them that Uruk is coming to attack.
There's one thing that we could do is like there's going to be a judgment for that man probably in public, and then we can have it like defensively presented as an accomplice, bring in the whatever proof that we can show that he has actually created magic in public. The fact that he's like kind of a fanatic too, it's like what the hell is he gonna say? What would come out of his mouth? You know what I mean? We could rile it up and have him
I wonder-
go against the public.
So we're gonna make a war campaign.
No, we're
Yes.
just going to re-inspire the citizens to protect their home. Because
That's
He is
what we're
Smarty
putting
and join the
it.
Tyrion army. Dun, 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 dun.
Alright. I'll see you guys later, but I gotta go.
See ya.
all right,
Okay,
see you
bye.
later, Caster. I'm probably gonna head off too because I want to spend at least a little bit of time playing some Skyrim or Oblivion and then go to bed.
This session was very short.
It sure was.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did get a lot done.
90% of it.
We did get a lot done. We interrogated Perm a little bit, although I wasn't able to quite make him open up his mind to Arasto so that he would just blab everything. But yeah. I mean, we were still missing. Oh right, Castor came and then you came, but Psycho Frog left by the time that you got here.
Psycho Frog
Wait.
showed up at all? I
Yeah.
thought he was out.
Yeah,
Wait,
he
what
made it.
level-
He was
what
super
level is-
tired and didn't do much, but he was here.
What level is this fanboy of ours?
First level.
First level? Or
First
air
level?
player?
Well, no,
Let's-
hold on.
let's go with
In Dark Sun, everybody starts at third level, so he would be third level.
Yes.
So what spells do he know?
Third level spells. Air spells.
Third level air spells, like
Air. Wind. Stinking cloud.
that actually a spell.
Yep.
Does he know it?
I think so.
Is this another person player that will play this player?
No, it's NPC, and he's only really there for stories. He's not a combatant.
Oh man, we should let like a person enter the campaign, but they have to play as wing
His
player.
spells aren't really even combat oriented. He's got a healing spell, but that's probably the most useful thing for you.
Ooh, wait, what is a healing ward?
It's a lot of crowd control, like the air player. You're pushing people around a lot. It's an interesting build. I saw in the Dark Sun channel, like the somebody posted a new character, I think.
Wait, new character? Oh no, that's Hunter's current character. That's Caster's character.
Oh, it's nothing new.
Let me see. Norcus? Yeah, that's Caster's character.
Oh, okay.
He made it in D&D Beyond.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't know. I was wondering if it was like something different. I just saw that there was a character sheet. All right, so we're done for the evening. Is that it?
I want to go on for
Seems
longer.
like it. You know.
I'm preparing the side quest monster. I know we're probably not going to get to the combat. I'm just getting it ready here for next time. So the creature that he's asked you to fight looks like this.
It's just God. It's a floating.
Find out.
You're gonna post it in Dark Sun?
What is that? Is that like a... What equivalent is that from another realm?
There is no equivalent.
No?
Nope. It's called a Dune Freak.
The Dune Freak.
Dune Freak.
Wait, hold up. It's on stream?
This one here that I'm shaking?
Wait, I can't see it. Where is it?
You can see it on stream now.
Anacor. There we
I
go.
don't. Oh, that's it? Oh.
Yeah.
It looks
it
like
looks
the
like-
thing from what are those things called? From
It's like a Ninja Turtle without a shell.
Can I
Yeah,
make a weapon or armor out of it?
it does look sort of like a Ninja Turtle. It's like
Can I make
Slash, the evil Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, the evil Ninja Turtle without a shell.
Yeah.
Just,
Can I make armor?
there was an
just
evil Ninja
lizard
turtle.
muscles there.
Yep. There was an evil Ninja Turtle. He was a snapping turtle.
Was it?
I was
What-
thinking about like those things from is it from not BioShock. Is that the Bethesda game?
But what about the armor?
It's
The
sort of
one
like
with bolts
sort of like a Zoonoid from the Guyver series.
The what?
Yeah.
Guyver. If you've never
Guyver?
seen Guyver, it's pretty good. They
I've seen
they
that.
even made a couple live action movies. The first one's terrible, but the second one's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
Guyver
old,
2, Dark Hero from like the mid '90s.
Have you ever watched Ninja Scroll? Ninja?
What do you think?
Okay, because it's like if you talk to like new anime people, you know, like younger generation, I guess. Like they don't know like a lot of these old
The
animes
classics.
that are- yeah,
Ninja Scroll is probably my favorite anime. I
it's,
have
like,
seen it.
so good.
I've seen it a million bazillion times.
There's the series too that's pretty good too.
I've
But
got
the movie is the best, I think.
I've got a DVD which I made from a VHS that I had of Ninja
Yeah.
Scroll from like the 90s.
Yeah, that was an excellent one. And the same writer and drawing team. There's another series that he did before that. I think that there's really a lot of similar of his kind of characters.
He has similar character designs and everything that
Yeah.
company does. Madhouse is the
Yeah,
animation
some-
studio.
Some characters they show up. It's just a different role, you know.
So there's several movies. So there's Ninja Scroll, but then you could also watch the Highlander anime based on like the Highlander sword fighting
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
and
I've
stuff.
seen that.
So that
I've seen
anime, same Madhouse group, same character designs and stuff. Also, what's that other one they did that has the exact same characters in it? They all
Yeah,
they
it's
always
like,
look
same drawing.
they always look like the same characters, like actors that appear in different shows as different characters, only in anime
Yeah.
form. They just draw them the same in every show.
Yeah, they have the same look. They're not exactly the same, you know, but they have the same look.
Vampire Hunter D
The-
Bloodlust, the second Vampire Hunter movie, was made by them as well.
Have you ever watched the original Devilman?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Devilman?
Devilman's pretty good. I have the
What's that
entire
dinosaur?
I have the entire 6 DVD series of Devil Lady on my shelf to the left here.
Oh,
Devil Lady's really good. It's the exact same thing as Devil Man,
Yeah.
except it's Devil Lady.
yeah,
Devil
but
May Cry?
Devilman is so fucking cool. Though.
Did you watch Devil Man Crybaby?
No.
Yes.
Devilman Crybaby came out on Netflix like last year, and it's so fucking
Oh
good.
yeah. Is
It's
that
so
the in 3D style? You know, like the new drawing style.
Yeah, the drawing style was different. I don't know if it was 3D though.
It's
It's
not
2D.
like fully. Was that what you're saying? No,
You
sorry.
said it's good or?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was good, but it's to me like sometimes when I see it like an original, and then I see them like try to recreate some of the essence, you know, or it's not as gruesome, you know.
The weird thing about Devilman is like it's the same story over and over, but maybe it takes
Yeah.
place in parallel universes or something. Because it's always like the devil, and then it's the devil man, and they end up fighting at the end. But it's always like different characters in a different setting, slightly retold.
Yeah, with like devils that eat the next one to gain their abilities and mutate and shit like that.
Yeah, Devil Lady was exactly the same
Yeah.
plot. And there's a bunch of other Devilman stuff that I never even watched that all has the same story too.
Yeah, that was a good era, man. Like you had like Akira was like the big thing too. And
Yeah, there was a sweet spot from the mid '90s until about the mid 2000s. That was the
like
good,
you had
the good anime.
Berserker. Yeah.
Things got too commercial after that. Like everything's like magic girls and
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Dragon Ball ripoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
Magic School and shit like that, like Harry Potter style.
a lot of very
Guys,
stereotypical anime. It's like the same
what are your thoughts on isekai, guys?
mecha anime over and over and over again.
I like isekai.
Yeah, me too. My favorite is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a
Oh,
Slime.
that's fine. Yeah, I love it too.
Fucking great show.
It's really fun.
What is the one? Goran?
I only like the first like segment where he's actually learning all his abilities and he's like making a town, and then after that when it jumps to like the whole Demon Lord arc and the like training all the kids things, I was like, I got bored.
Right?
Season
Like,
2 was
it left
amazing.
the
though.
premise of the whole like learning your stuff and raising things.
Yeah, it
Jeez,
got a
you
little
should
weird
watch
with the
it.
kids thing. I don't know. I also like the beginning a lot.
Have you seen season 2?
Fusion 2 now.
Have you seen Redo of Healer?
I have.
The rape hentai that was commercialized.
I
yeah.
actually like a lot of like revenge stories, so it's pretty good. Like I like Rising of the Shield Hero as well.
I mean,
Resident
are
Evil
those the
was
same
actually
show? I'm confused. I watched them
Resident
both, and I
Evil
can't
is
tell.
nothing.
I can't tell one from the other.
They are nothing alike.
No, they are
Oh,
identical.
one-
They are the same show. The only difference is they cut out the sex scenes from one of them.
Are you sure? I don't remember.
I think they are the same anime with just the sex scenes removed.
Are you sure? Redo of a Healer and Rising of the Shield Hero?
One has like a religious faction. They don't really have a church.
Maybe
Other
not.
one-
Maybe not. They seem
don't
like the
think
same
any-
show to me.
I don't think any rape happens in Rising of the Shield Hero.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
rape.
Rising of the Shield Hero is like the PG-13 version of the hentai. It is the anime version of the hentai that is Redo of Healer.
Only this time he didn't actually rape anyone. It was accused. Wait, are we still streaming?
Yes.
I watched the stream.
This is quality content. This is what our viewers come here to watch. Nerdy anime talk. All right, thanks for watching. It's been fun. Catch you later. We'll be back Tuesday for
Excellent.
Forgotten
Oh,
Realms,
Tuesday?
and then Wednesday for more of this. Dark Sun. Bye-bye.
Dark